Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Namaste. Welcome. My name's Keith. This week I've been thinking a lot about sound, light, dark, silence, the spaces between all of those things. So this is a practice that comes out of that thought process, thinking about the play of dawn, the two lights coming together, bringing that together with Marici, the sage. So there'll be some poses for Marici. Thinking about sound and silence and vibration. So there's some eagle quality in here because Garuda is said to be made up of sound and meter. Hanuman shows up because Hanuman is the great devotee who sings his joy. Those are just some of the things that might show up in this practice as we move together. If you have a block, that'd be a great prop to have around, but you don't have to. Bring your hands together. And breathe in. Let your hands stay together for the Gayatri Mantra.
bhūr bhuvaḥ savitúr váreṇyaṃ bhārgo devásya dhīmahi dhīyo Naath pracodáyāt bhūr bhuvaḥ savitúr váreṇyaṃ bhārgo devásya dhīmahi dhīyo Naath pracodáyāt bhūr bhuvaḥ savitúr váreṇyaṃ bhārgo devásya dhīmahi dhīyo Naath pracodáyāt.
Earth, heavens, and atmosphere. We meditate on the light of the radiance divine. We offer ourselves humbly to that great sphere, the source of all life, so that it might illuminate our path, strengthen our practice, and deepen our meditation. Breathe in. Three shantis. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Release your hands and start to make your way down onto your back. When you get down onto your back, start with the soles of your feet flat to the mat. Take a moment just to sink in. And then exhale both feet off the mat. When you breathe in, extend out some through your right leg. And then cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh and exhale back into yourself.
Undo that with your breath in. So now you cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your right foot, but keep your left foot soft as you pull in. And then keep that going. Breathe in to change. Your left ankle crosses and your left foot flexes. But then draw in with your right leg. And trade side to side this way. Focusing mainly on how you keep your right ankle active to protect your knee, or whatever ankle is crossing over. And how the opposite leg softens some, so you have the full access to your hip hinge. And eventually you'll feel your hips coming off the mat some. But try not to use any tension around your neck or around your shoulders. Just use it to add some space around your hip. You might notice that the leg that's pulling in, it almost wants to go toward what feels like an ankle to knee. So it pulls in the direction of the figure 4 knee. You can use that. A few more times. A couple more with each leg. One more each side. Good, and then release. Have both feet come down for a moment. Exhale everything away, just so you take the work out of your hips. And then you're going to do some rocking and rolling on your spine. So when you draw your legs in, you can catch hold. And then exhale, rock yourself up. And when you get there, pause for a moment so the soles of your feet are down and your knees open up a little bit. And then rock yourself back again. And rock up, and as you do, drop your left thigh open. Close it in, and rock yourself back. And then rock yourself up, and let your right thigh open. Close it and rock, and then have that openness as you sit up. So you can hook your left foot behind your right heel, so you have this openness as you sit, and then rock it back. Your right thigh drops open, your left foot is flat, and then you rock back. So as you drop open with your left knee, turn your right toes out as far as they're willing to go, and then rock it back. Your right thigh will open, your left foot, which is flat, turns out as much as you can get it to drop out, and then rock it back. Same thing as your left knee drops open, but reach your arms forward and allow yourself to open up some chest space and lift off your tush. Drop it back, rock it back, switch sides. As you come up, press into your feet and into your knee and lift, maybe a little bit higher. Rocking, your left knee is down, your right foot is flat, press, lift. You'll be on the ball of your right foot there. And then drop it, rock it. Press, you'll be on the ball of your left foot. So you press into your right knee and into your left foot. And then you drop it down. One more time each side. Your right foot is flat, press down, keep your chest up, and then sit it back, rock it back. One more time with your right knee open, your left toes out, rock, chest up, breathe in, sit it back. Cross your ankles, come on to all fours, curl under your toes, and then send your hips back to down dog. Give yourself as much room as you can find through your reach. Let your head go. Move a little deeper into your hip crease. One last moment there. And then begin to walk yourself up to the front of your mat. Pause there. Narrow your big toes close. And then rock to your fingertips and the ball of your foot. And as you do, bend your knees. So there's some space between your knees, but no space between your big toes. So that as you begin to deepen through your hip crease, your ankle will deepen. And you can reach your arms forward, hinting at malasana. Drag in your fingertips. And then lengthen through your legs, drop your heels, and fold over yourself. Do it again. Tense your fingers and lift your heels, and then bend your knees so your hips drop toward your heels. And then move your hips backward from your heels. Let your heels drop. You might notice your heels come together now as your arms reach forward. Rock to the ball of your foot. You'll feel your heels separate. And then long through your legs. Bow over, Uttanasana. Do that one more time. Fingertips, the ball of your foot. Bend your knees, drop your hips toward your heels. And then move your hips back. Let your heels kiss together, your knees open up. Malasana. Rock to the ball of your foot. Tense your fingers, open your chest, and then fold over yourself. Bow down. Ease yourself up to stand. Give yourself a breath all the way in there. And out. Inhale your arms up. Exhale and fold over. Go to your fingertips, the ball of your foot. Move your hips close to your heels. Rock back, let your heels drop in, your knees widen. Malasana. Move to the ball of your foot, tense your fingers, and then rock into a standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale your right leg long behind you, and then step high with your hips, downward dog. Stretch out long for plank pose, send your gaze forward. Bend your elbows. You can go all the way or part of the way, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot forward to the front of your mat. Open your chest. Step your feet together. Fold in. Remember your big toes are close here. Arms up, breathing in. Pause a prayer at your heart and then release your arms. Inhale, your arms go up. Exhale, hinge and empty out, touch the ground. Go to your fingertips, the ball of your foot. Use the exhale to move backward, right into Malasana. Inhale to your fingertips, the ball of your foot, open your chest. Use the exhale to fold over, Uttanasana. Inhale your left leg back. High with your hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stretch out long, breathe in. Keep your gaze forward, hug your elbows in. Over your toes, open your chest. Downward dog, breathe out. Move your left foot to the front with your breath in. Your 2 feet together, fold over, bow down. Up to stand, Urdhva Hasta. And then release your arms, Tadasana. Arms up, breathe in. Fold over and touch the ground. Onto your fingertips and the ball of your foot as you're bending your knee. Use the exhale to rock back, Malasana. Your arms can float. As you're breathing in, rock right into Ardha Uttanasana. Stretch your spine. And then exhale, fold into yourself. Inhale your right leg back. Step in lower, Chaturanga, gaze forward. over your toes. Back you go, down dog. See where your thumbs are. Step or walk or jump forward. Tense your fingers, open your chest, fold in. Bend your knees on the way up, Utkatasana. Release your arms, Tadasana. Bend your knees, arms up, breathe in. Fold over, touch the ground. Breathe into your fingertips, ball of your foot, drop your hips towards your heels. Sit back in Malasana, floating arms. Rock right up onto your fingertips, Ardha Uttanasana, fold over. Lunge your left foot back, breathing in. Chaturanga Dandasana, step and lower. Over your toes. Down dog. See where your thumbs are, soften your knees. Step or jump to get there. Onto your fingertips. Fold over. Bend your knees on the way up. Utkatasana. Release your arms. Tadasana. Bend your knees, Utkata. Fold over, touch the ground. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Fold over, touch down. Rock to the ball of your foot onto your fingertips. Open up your chest. Exhale back. Malasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Breathing in. Fold right into your jump back. Over your toes. Back over your toes. See where your hands are. Step or jump forward. Onto your fingertips. Fold over. Bend your knees, arms up. Utkatasana. Release your arms. Tadasana. One more time. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Fold over. Touch the ground. Uttanasana. Onto your fingers, ball of your foot, hips to your heels. Exhale back. Malasana. Ardha Uttanasana, breathing in. Fold as you jump, Chaturanga. Over your toes. Downward dog. See your hands, soften and go. On your fingertips. Fold over. Utkatasana, rise up. Zigzag. And release. Step your feet wide apart. And come into a open standing prasarita. And then right from there, as you exhale, drop your hands, heels in, toes out. And you can move a little side to side. And during this part of the practice, I'll mirror you. So listen to the words rather than necessarily following along with your eyes. Hook your left elbow underneath your right elbow. Draw your elbows up, but sink your hips down. Look over to your right. Turn your right toes all the way out. Shift in that direction. Take a soft figure 4 with your left ankle over. And then sink in, but rotate a little bit to the left. As you do that, step out with your left foot. Undo everything right into Warrior 2. Get broad through your arms here. Allow yourself to sink in. Tip back for peaceful warrior. And then lengthen through your right leg for triangle pose as you reach out, open up. Firm up through your back leg. And then let your top arm sweep across your face, turn your feet into parallel, fold, pracodáyāt. Rise up and open your arms. And then heels in, toes out, hands on your knees for a moment. And then hook under with your right elbow, lift your arms up and sink. Look over toward your left toes, make sure they're all the way out. Shift in that direction. Take a soft figure 4 with your right ankle coming across, flexing your foot, a little rotation to the right as you sink. Undo it, slowly stepping back with your right toes on your way into Warrior 2. Press out, but draw in. Tip back for peaceful. And then stretch out through your left leg on your way to triangle pose. Keep turning open. Firm up through your back leg, express through your top fingers. And then let your top arm fall. Pivot into the middle. Pracodáyāt. Rising up, open your arms. Heels in, toes out. Right away, your left elbow comes under. Sink. Look over to the right. You're moving in that direction. Take your left ankle up and over. Flex your left foot. Rotate a little bit left. And then sink deeper. Draw your elbows toward your breastbone. As you're easing out of it, step back. Lengthen right out. Triangle pose. Let your top arm fall. Bend through your right knee. And then extend your arm next to your head. Side angle. Keep steering your right knee toward your right arm so that you keep your knee over your ankle. Right from there, sweep low. Parallel your 2 feet. Fold equally between your 2 legs. Rise up, arms open. Heels in, toes out. Take your right elbow underneath your left. Look over to the left, turn all the way out, shift, soft figure 4, flexing your right ankle, a little turn right, sink in deeper, and let your elbows move toward your breastbone. As you undo it, step right into triangle pose. So your right toes move, drop your toes, lengthen your legs, ground your heel, unfurl right into triangle. Let your top arm fall toward the back of your mat and then bend your left knee and reach out. Uttita Parshva Konasana. Keep turning open at your breastbone. And then drop your arm, lengthen, pivot, and fold over. Rise up, arms open. Heels in, toes out. And then one more time, your left elbow comes under. Sink. Look over to the right, turn your toes all the way out. Move your way over. So you take your left ankle, flex your foot, little rotation left, sink deeper, but keep your chest open. As you undo it, right where you are, drop your right fingers, free your left arm, Ardha Chandra. Gaze up towards your upper hand. One last moment there. You can look down, bend your right knee, step to the back, tip back, peaceful warrior. Lengthen through your right leg. As you turn and pivot, fall right into prasarita. Maybe your head touches down. Ease on up, arms wide, heels in, toes out. Take your left elbow under, sink. Look over to the left, shift in that direction, carry your right ankle up and over. Flex your foot, little rotation over to the right, sink in, pull in, draw to yourself. Stay right where you are as you begin to lengthen. Drop your left fingers, raise your right arm, undo your left leg. Gaze up, Ardha Chandra. One last moment. Soften, bend, tip back, peaceful warrior. Get long, parallel, and fold, prasarita. Bowing into yourself. And ease up to stand. Arms open. And then just bring your feet close. Heel toe. And release your arms. Pause. Make your way back up to the front of your mat. Inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana. Fold over, touch the ground. Start by stepping your right leg back for a long lunge. And then change your lunge leg into a pigeon. Deepen through your left hip, open through your chest. Keep your back toes curled under for now. Shift some weight left, step your right foot around. So your right heel comes right against your left ankle when you sit. Drop into your left fingers, reach forward, and open up your chest. As your arm pulls in, press down into the ground. Rock up onto your left knee, onto the ball of your right foot. Deepen, drop your hands, and take a short step back to the left. Tense your fingers, open up. And then bow over your right leg, Parshvottanasana. A little bend in both knees, and then recommit to the length of your legs. Rock to your fingertips. Bring your left hand close to your right foot to the inside or the outside. And begin to revolve. You can open up your right arm into the sky. Keep moving your right hip towards your left hip. And then release your hand. Step through a lunge and into plank pose. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing. And downward facing. See the front of your mat. Soften your knees. Exhale. Tense your fingers, fold in. Zigzag up, Utkatasana. And release. Utkatasana, bend your knees, arms up. Fold over and touch down. Step backward with your left foot. Change your lunge leg into a pigeon. Remember, your back toes are curled. Move your right hip back so your right sitting bone gets heavy. Drop some weight to the right. Bring your left foot around. Sink your left foot down right in front of your right ankle. Tense your right fingers, lengthen your spine, and then reach forward. As you're drawing in, press down, rock up, rise, get tall. Rock into yourself on your way to Parsvottanasana. Drop your hands, step back into the right, open your spine, and then fold over your left leg. Bowing in without getting heavy or ragdolly. Come up with your chest, move your right hand over, deepen your left hip as you start to revolve, and then open your left arm into the sky. Let your gaze follow if that works for your body. Breathing in. And then you can look down with the exhale, adjust your hands, lunge into plank. Lower the way you like or skip that part. Open up. Down dog. See your hands, step or jump to get there. Tense your fingers, open your spine, and then fold over. Zigzag up, Utkatasana. Release, Tadasana. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Fold over, touch down, hinge at your hips. Step backward with your right leg, lunging. Turn it into a pigeon. You can release your right toes this time. Open up some more room in the front of your right hip now. Drop some weight, step around. And then once you step down, move your left foot a bit more center of your body. So you can feel your left heel in the middle and your right heel goes right against the top of your left foot, right around the big toe. Drop your left fingers, reach your right arm, and then you can reach in front and use that to propel your chest some. Breathe in. Right out of it, as your right fingers lift, press the ground, lift yourself up, press in. When you rock back, drop your hands for standing split. Fold over. Grow long. One last breath. And then a long leg coming behind you. Tuck it in. And then have a seat. Revolve to the right, so your right leg's over the top. You can use your palm, your elbow crease, or hook to the outside. Revolving at your belly and your chest before you crank your head. If you like, you can take the bind here, threading your left arm back underneath your right leg. Hold onto your hands or your wrist. Sit tall. So whether or not you're binding, your arms shouldn't feel like they're doing the work. Use your sitting bones, grounding, to find more length, and then revolve from there. Counter twist over to the left side. Undo your right leg to the back. Breathe into plank and lower. You can always skip this part. Meet back at down dog. See your thumbs, get there with your exhale. Open up some room. Fold over. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Release, Tadasana. One more time, Udkata. Fold over and touch down. Step backward with your left leg. Change your right leg into a pigeon. And you can release your back toes to find room in your left hip. And then from there, bring your left foot around. Set it down and then center out your right heel. pull closely in with your left foot. Tense your right fingers, reach with your left arm, and then go right around the front, opening up. From there, as you release your arm, rock to your knee, the ball of your foot, come on up. Release your hands, standing split. Grow length. And then as your leg crosses behind, tuck into yourself. Have a seat. Twist. Wrap around. Decide if you want to bind here. Sometimes you want to, but your body doesn't want to. So listen to that. Breathe up through the crown of your head. One last moment. And then a little counter turn to the right. Undo it on your way back to plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. See the front of your mat. Go. Open up. And fold over. Up on long legs. And release. Then right from here, turn back to the side of your mat. And set yourself up. And I'll mirror you again. So take your left ankle up for a figure 4. And then once you're there, you could stay like this or start to guide your foot up toward a half lotus. And then once it's there, like earlier, a little bend in your standing leg, so then your left elbow can come under. Notice I rotate a little bit left now. Draw your elbows in all the way toward your belly space. And then pause there for a moment and let your fingers drop. As your fingers settle down, so if you're doing a figure 4, you might just stay up. But if you're here in a half lotus, you can lower down so that your lotus knee touches down, and then sink so that you feel your heel bone of your right foot close to the perineum. Move your hip creases deeper again. And then you can bring your hands close together before you take your left elbow underneath your right. So your lotus knee is down, the opposite knee is up, and then you pull in, but gaze beyond your fingertips, playing in a low lotus eagle. One last breath. And then release. Keep your legs, have a seat. So if you weren't doing a half lotus, you could simply come down to sit and do what you did before with your heel coming in close and your opposite foot in front. If you have a half lotus, feel free to keep it so that you complete the idea of what we were working before, using your fingers to tense. So you can stay right here or reach up now with your right arm. Lean in, hook around. So like you did before, you can tense your fingers on the mat, or you can turn your right thumb down to flip your shoulder, and then your two hands can meet up behind your back here. Take a fold towards your lotus knee, toward your left knee, bowing. Maricyāsana B. And then slowly come up. If there's a lotus leg, keep it. Both hands are going to move over toward the lotus knee side. So as I press into my right foot and lift up, I can now use my right elbow to hook somewhere near the top side of my lotus leg. Go up onto the ball of your foot, and you can stay here or shift your weight. So I've got a half lotus. Breathing in. And then sinking, dropping, lengthening, and undoing. Fold over. And then check that on the other side. So now you can bring across your right ankle, figure 4, awesome, right? Or a half lotus. A little bend in your standing leg. So that now that you've got your right leg on top, take your right arm under. Rotate a little bit to the right. And draw in. You can hang out here, right? Or release your eagle arms. Drop your fingers. Start to rock to the ball of your standing foot so that you draw your left heel close to the perineum, and then you can drop the lotus knee so you've got your outer knee on the ground. Hinge a little bit deeper here. Let your hands get close. This is a great stopping place. Or hook under with your right elbow. Breathing in. Low, half lotus eagle. Keep moving into yourself. And then slowly release it. Have a seat. So you can have the modification with your right ankle behind your left heel, or you can keep your right leg in a half lotus. Use your right fingers to sit yourself up. Reach up with your left arm. Go across. You can stop in tent or turn your thumb down, close your shoulder, wrap around, and then your hands can find each other to get taller. Little turn toward your lotus knee as you bow there. And slowly come up. You can let that be it, or drop your hands over toward the right side. So as you press down, the ball mound of your left foot will help you come up. Keep the lotus foot where it is. You might have to flex your ankle some. So as you hook over with your left elbow, nab the underside of your thigh. Hang out here or shift for your half lotus. And then soften. And release. Undo. Lengthen. Drop your foot. And fold. Come on up to stand. And then if you have a block, you might have it handy here. Once you have your block, you're down on your knees. Start off on all fours. And move into downward facing dog. And then step your right foot forward to a lunge. Sink in, and here's where the block can come into play. So you can set it up so it's underneath your right hip someplace. Release your back toes. And then start to extend your right leg out long. And play through that space. Letting your hips sink. Moving to Hanumanasana. And the block is nice because it just allows you to find some comfort in the drop. Opening up. You can add your arms up. Breathing in. And then release your hands and set up for the other side. So all fours, you can move your block over. Downward dog. And then step forward with your left foot. Let your back hip sink, point through your back toes. You choose the height for your block, but move it in. Let your leg get longer. You can always have a little bend in your front knee so that you're not overdoing your hamstring space. Find some length. Open up through your chest, and you can always keep your fingers down. And then arms up, if you like. Hanumanasana. Breathing in. Focus on the front side of your hip. And then release. Drop your hands. Undo to all fours. You can move your block out of the way and then come to lie down on your belly. When you get down to your belly, start with a sphinx feeling. Just to drop your pelvis and open your chest. And then this might be plenty, or you can walk your hands back, not quite as far as where your elbows were, but almost. So your elbows now hug to your rib cage to open up more of a cobra. Same heaviness in your pelvis. So if you feel anything in your low back, increase the bend of your elbow, decrease the lift. But if you've got the room, there's always going to be some bend in your elbows. Drop into your thumb mounds and open your chest. And then release. Press into your hands. Make your way to all fours. And then you come to stand on your knees. You can always have some padding underneath your knees. You can also always curl your toes under behind you. Pause there. Take your hands to your hips. And when you do that, focus on your chest opening. Notice if you squeeze your bum or if you start to lean back immediately. Happily stay here. Or let your left fingers get heavy. Recline in the direction of your left heel. And maybe you find your own heel. And then come back up. Trade sides. Drop your right fingers. Keep your pelvis going forward. Notice that your right butt cheek will try to grab here. So do less of that. Keep your chin close to your chest. And then release. And you can do one and one again. Or as you drop your left fingers, you can then release your right fingers. Consciously soften your tush. Open your chest. And maybe your gaze goes up some. Press into the ground. Ease yourself back up. Good. And then drop toward your heels. Swing your feet over to the side. And then come down to lie on your back. And you're setting up for wheel. So if there's anything you need to do to make your surface stickier, you can change that around. Plant your hands near your head. Rotate your elbows in toward your midline. Take it in stages the first time. So you can use an exhale to lift your two hips up. And then a breath in to press your arms long. And then soften your bum as you're going up. Chin to your chest. and then ease down. You can roll your wrists. And then the second time around, see if it can all happen with one breath. Huh? Meaning that you don't exhale and then inhale, but set it up. And then as you're breathing in, you rise to the shape. You can let your mouth hang open. Good, and then chin to your chest. Ease down. Fix your mat if you changed anything. Move your knees from side to side. Good. Stretch your left leg out long to the floor. And then take hold of your right big toe and extend your right leg. Settle into your low back here. Breathe all the way in and out. Reach your left arm. You can drop your left hand onto your left thigh, and then with an exhale, come on up close to your leg. Breathing in, add some length. And then exhale, lower. Change sides. Take hold of your left big toe. Extend your left leg. Reach. And then exhale as you touch down. Adding some length to your back, but keeping some openness in your chest. And then ease down. Bend both knees. Shift your hips a little bit over to the right. Drop your knees over to the left. Take a little twist here. Use your left hand and just take your thumb into your navel. Move it over toward the backside of your spine and towards your right ribs. Good. And then undo it. Take it the other way so you can shift your hips left, drop your knees right. Take a twist here. And then you can use your right thumb, move it into your belly, tuck it over some. And then center yourself out. Rock yourself up to sit. Make sure you've got enough room on either side so there's no walls in your way. And when you rock back down, start with Happy Baby. You can hold the pinky edges of your feet and let your head go side to side. Happily stay this way, or bring the soles of your feet together and interlace your fingers. Flower your thighs open for a Supta Baddha Konasana. And then you can hold your big toes again And let your legs open wide for a feeling of Supta Konasana. A little bend in your elbows. A little tick-tock from side to side. You can change your grip to the inside of your heel. And then as you take your legs a little bit wider and closer to the ground, you can touch one set of toes to the floor, another set of toes to the floor. Center out, a little lift through your head, and then you might get all of your toes down. And then recline again for Supta Samakonasana. And then soften. One more time, hold your big toes. Extend your legs. And bring your legs in a little closer to you for a feeling of Supta Paschimottanasana. And then release. And stretch yourself out long on the floor. And take rest. Sink in. And let go completely.
Hare Murare, He Naath, Narayana, Vasudeva, He Naath, Narayana, Vasudeva, He Naath, Narayana, Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda, Hare Murare, He Naath, Narayana, Vasudeva, He Naath, Narayana, Vasudeva.
Start to breathe deeply again. Start to move your body around. Bend your knees, roll to your side, and make your way up to sit. Bring your hands together. Shri Krishna, Govinda, beloved Krishna, takes the form as the cowherder. We call out to you, this divine spark who plays the flute to draw us near. Hey Lord, Lord of the waters and creation, you are goodness personified.
We are truly the light of each other, and it's with gratitude that I bow to the divine light in you that is the same divine light in me. Peace be with you and blessings upon you. Thanks for tuning in.